D&D and Mojo Show!
No, I think you could read The Hobbit in less time than we just played Zork.
I think we could probably speed read The Hobbit between the three of us, like in an hour and a half.
Yeah, probably.
Well, we ended with a score of 34. That's probably not bad, right?
Can we go back and get that to 33?
No.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't know. Let's look on the leaderboards.
Jack, was this one of those MS-DOS games that became available all of a sudden?
Yeah, there was like 25 million of them.
I don't know. Probably.
That's cool.
There are a lot of the old Sierra adventure games on there, like Space Quest.
Yeah,
I was going to
that's
ask.
cool.
I mean, I know Zork's actually pretty up there as far as popular text adventure games, but what are some of the other ones from back in the day?
Oh, like you got Police Quest, Space Quest, a lot of quests, Leisure Suit.
Leisure Suit Larry, yeah.
Yep.
That was a text adventure game to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they had pictures. Didn't they have pictures?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, like all those games had graphics. Zork.
Yeah, those Sierra adventure games had visuals.
And I'm pretty sure like even Zork 2 had visuals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But
the original Zork was the first like text adventure game, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was the first. I think it was just one of the most in-depth.
Oh, okay.
Because it's actually pretty easy to program a text adventure game.
Who originally produced, developed, whatever that game?
I have no idea.
Mr. Zork.
Mr. Zork.
Yep.
That's the science behind it.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, we all know that Mr. Bioshock developed Bioshock Infinite, and Mr. Dog developed... I got that wrong. Never mind.
Do you guys want to save this game, by the way? Do you ever want to come back to this? Or was that not fun for you guys?
I can't think of any reason why not to save it, unless it just takes up too much space.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You never know. If people really liked it, we can go back to it, but not so sure that's the case. But I didn't mind it. It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
Yeah,
Jack, you're a good narrator, so it's fun to listen to you.
There were no honey badgers attacking me out of nowhere, so that was an improvement over Far Cry.
There was a thief that just came out of nowhere and shanked us
true.
for our stuff.
True. At least the honey badgers, I have an opportunity to shoot them, even if their hide is made of iron.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, fucking honey badgers.
What's the honey part all about?
They really like honey. They're like Winnie the Pooh of badgers.
Yeah,
they're like the salesman always knocking on Pooh's door, asking him to buy into the honey co-op.
No, they're really the worst.
So I enjoyed Zork. I thought
that was fun. I don't know what I was gonna say. No,
okay.
Good.
Are we done?
Congratulations to Pedro Martinez.
Heck yeah, congratulations to Pedro.
And honestly, Craig Biggio, he deserved it.
I don't know what you're talking about right now. You're talking crazy talk.
We're talking about the sports.
Oh.
Sports ball.
Sports ball.
Yep.
How about that sports ball?
Guys, so I have a question. Serious question. Serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we just quit our jobs and start a Patreon and and live off of the show?
Can I say off the record, that is the fucking stupidest thing those people have ever done.
You're not off the record. You're still on the Twitch stream.
I think it's a goddamn idiotic move, honestly.
I agree.
The power and the prestige they got behind the following that IGN has is they just can't even imagine. And whether they like it or not, people will not follow. Look at Jessica Chobot. Where the fuck is she? Does anybody even know who she is anymore?
Last I heard, what's his name? Greg. He had $13,000 a month on Patreon. So
no.
No, the last I heard, between the four of them,
they
there's $30,000 in 3 months.
In 3 months.
I make more than that, for heaven's sake, honestly.
I'm gonna look that up because I don't know. I
don't know either. None of us really know. If I was making money on Patreon, I wouldn't tell the people the exact amount either. Honestly.
What are you talking about? It shows on Patreon how much they make. It shows up.
Yeah, it's like Kickstarter in that way.
Well, I'm sure there's a way around it. There's always a way around it. The mob always finds a way around it, right?
The mob uses Patreon.
They probably do.
Know that.
Yeah, their kind of funny thing is currently at $15,000 a month.
Okay, so between and this is when it's just kicking off. I mean, it can go either way. I'm not suggesting that it could never ever happen, but the odds of it being more fruitful than their IGN employment are pretty slim, in my opinion.
And they live in San Francisco.
Yeah, like speaking from experience, sounds like a lot of money.
It's really expensive.
Well, I mean, apparently when they launched it, they were only hoping to get $5,000 a month. So
yeah,
but they also weren't hoping to live off of it at that point.
Well, they probably have other backings and other plans. I mean, I don't think they're stupid. I just think it's a huge risk. Well, I can't blame them for taking it.
I mean, I think they were planning to do it full time because they quit their jobs and then they made this.
No, they made that beforehand.
Did they?
Yeah,
they started that in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been working towards it. I mean, I don't really think they're stupid. I think they have a plan, but I don't know. It's just, and also,
I mean, maybe it'll work out for them.
The guy from Destructoid quit his job today too. The head guy, the CEO, and he didn't say what he was doing, but it sounds like he's doing something similar.
I just feel like, because here's the thing, a lot of people will know them, sure, but a lot of people will not. There's a lot of people that visit IGN that don't know Greg Miller from Jim Sterling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I think IGN is always going to have a ton of traffic, and I think that a lot of people love Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty, don't get me wrong. Or whatever the hell.
Yeah, well, wow. Well, Greg Miller does have almost 200,000 followers on Twitter. Jeez,
oh, yeah, he's got a ton of followers on Twitter, yeah.
How much is their subscription service? Or, I mean, what are they doing? Are they just taking donations only? Is Patreon different than Kickstarter, whereas it doesn't end?
Yeah, Patreon is people pledge to give you X amount of dollars every month on an ongoing basis. And
so, I don't know a whole lot about economics, but I'm pretty sure you get way more, especially if you've already got a big name for yourself, like Greg does, way on the front end than you do on the bottom end. Like, people are much more willing to give up front than they are 6 months down the road, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it being as a long-term...
Here's the thing about Patreon. As if you keep putting out initial, like, once somebody pledges you money, it becomes less likely that they're going to stop giving you money. And as long as you keep making stuff that they like, then they feel like it's worth it. And I just say that because that's how I've felt, and I support Red Letter Media on Patreon. They're the only Patreon I give money to, and that's because they're a small independent film studio and they do funny things that I like. And it would probably take a good 2 or 3 months of them not doing anything funny for me to stop supporting them. And, like, to me, it's not a lot. It's like $5 a month or something. But that all adds up when you have 200,000 followers on Twitter.
So every person that follows them has to pay $5 a month to follow them?
No. I'm just saying that out of 200,000 people that follow Game Over Greggy on Twitter, that's the small portion of people that are willing to throw $5 a month their way. That adds up pretty quick.
Well, sure it does, but it's still an extremely small portion. And then when you split that with 3 other people, that adds down pretty quick too.
I mean,
the people that cold call people, like the people that cold call people and sell things, are expecting like a 5% chance on that.
mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to do a little better than that. So out of those 20,000 people or 200,000 people, I would say maybe 10% initially would sign up. A lot of it's so much easier to click subscribe to a YouTube channel than it is to go in and put in all your credit card information. For some people, it's not about the money. It's a pain in the ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why people wouldn't subscribe to it. Plus, this is content you've been getting for free forever. And whether people want to admit it or not, they hold those people to a different standard.
Well, they're not.
Now
they're
all
not,
of a sudden they're going to be like, well, now it's not free,
no,
so
it's
fuck
still
you guys.
it's still free. Patreon is optional. You just get some extra stuff every now and then.
You get extra stuff if you contribute.
Yeah, and it's not like a lot of extra stuff.
Okay, for now, but eventually that becomes when they start getting less and less contributors, they start making that extra stuff more and more only for those people contribute.
Okay. Here's my experience with Patreon extra stuff. Since I subscribe to Red Letter Media, all the stuff they make is free, unless they make feature films, in which case it's like $15 for their film, right?
Mm-hmm.
The extra stuff that they post are like behind the scenes shots, like just pictures from their sets, and like super old home videos, and then updates on what they're doing. But all their stuff is still free. That's mostly how this stuff kind of works. Like it's not a paywall.
Mostly how this stuff kind of works.
It's not a paywall.
Again, that's still just one example, though. And I'm not saying I have any examples to go from. I'm just thinking logically or how I've seen things like this work in the past. Yeah, more power to it. I still think that ultimately it's going to make them less money than they would have made sticking at IGN. That's just how.
And I think the other thing is they're not necessarily factoring in the kind of money that it will cost them to keep up a website to the level that they want to. And I think there's a lot of stuff that they were able to do at IGN that I watched their first episode where they talked about why they did it, and they were like, oh, now we can curse. Oh, great. So you quit your job so you could curse? I don't know. They'll have less freedom. They'll have more freedom, than they had at IGN, but they'll have less opportunities to
way
express
less opportunity. It. And all those exclusives that they got at IGN, they're not going to get doing what they're doing.
No, they're not.
It just won't happen.
But see, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if they don't get those exclusives.
What?
Because
that matters everything.
It matters if you're trying to make money off of page views, but if you're not making your money off of page views, then it doesn't matter if you're not getting exclusives. If you're making the people that support you happy, and more people slowly start giving you money on Patreon, then it doesn't matter if you're not getting, several million views on an interview or something.
Well, I guess I would agree with all those ifs, but I just don't see those ifs happening.
They have almost 3,000 Patreon supporters. Those are the people they need to make happy now.
But that's the most they're ever going to have, Jack. Think about it. Literally, that's the most they're ever going to have is right now.
No, that's not, that's not how it works.
Most likely.
But have you ever looked at Patreon before?
I already told you I haven't, so I'm not
exactly.
Say that
so I'm telling you as someone who's looked at Patreon, that's not how it works.
I'm telling you as someone who kind of understands the economy and how things generally work. It's just the same thing in a different venue.
It's different though, because these are people going out of their way to support something that they like, and as long as these people.
How many times have you signed up to support something that you no longer support? I've done it myself 100 times, if not 150 over the last 5 years.
Okay, well maybe we just operate differently because
and I
haven't done that.
At the beginning of it, when I'm all excited about it, and then pretty soon something else comes along, I'm like, whatever. I think, generally speaking, more people are like that than the alternate, because there's always something new and exciting coming along, and whether it's $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, it does add up. You have to start making choices.
I think it's kind of similar to getting Like you said, it's easier to click a subscribe button, but it's also not that hard to kick $1 towards someone every month.
There's so much fabulous free gaming content out there. There's no need to pay for it.
Yeah,
Literally zero need to pay for it.
But again,
There's
a lot of people love Greg Miller.
I don't think near as many people love him to the degree that they're willing to pay for it month after month after month.
No, and I don't. Like, I
don't
really
give a crap
enjoy
about Greg
listening.
Miller.
I really enjoy listening to the podcasts, and that's about it. But I'm not going to pay for him. I never paid. Like, I don't know.
Well,
I think that's a really hard thing to get people to buy into.
Look at the other places that have done this. The Rev 3 people all split off because they thought they were being treated unfairly, and look what they are now. I mean, none of them have and these are popular. I mean, Max Scoville, for heaven's sakes, is now working for IGN.
Yeah, he's now with IGN.
He split off of Rev 3 because he thought he could do it better on his own. I just don't see it. It takes a fucking ton of money and a lot of work to produce those things, and 4 people can't do it on their own. And when they start splitting that money with others, it's just not enough to go around. It's just not.
I think you're overestimating their overhead costs. $15,000 is a lot of money for 4 people.
This isn't just their overhead.
I also don't think
it's also their living costs.
Yeah,
it's not just the money to run the show; it's the money to run their lives.
I know plenty of people who have Patreons that make like less money and use that to live off every month. Like,
I also don't think they're the only 4 people
that are used to living the finer life. I mean, look
yeah,
at Colin.
Game devs and little journalists. Yeah.
They like the fancy stuff. They like the good life. All of a sudden having to split that amount of money with 4 people and work twice as hard probably and not getting the love from the industry that you've always gotten before because you worked at the biggest publication in the gaming industry. I guess I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Why are you so worked up about this?
I'm not worked up about it.
You sound pretty worked up.
Oh, well, because we've been discussing it for a long time, and we are completely in agreement. So the more we talk, the more I...
Because we're passionate guys, Jack.
Passionate, I guess. I'm not mad, if that's what you mean at all.
All I'm trying to say is that if, like, 1% of the people that follow Greg Miller like him enough to kick him, like, $1 or $2, that's, like... Eventually, if they keep doing what they're doing, more people are going to slowly kick $1 or $2 his way, and it's going to be just a little trickle of more and more stuff over time. That's all I'm trying to say. It's a slow trickle upward.
It's entirely possible, just in my opinion, highly improbable.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying.
I just don't think...
More power to the guy for going for it. Honestly, I think he's got a ton of guts to go for it. But
and here's the thing. In order to really keep people subscribing to your Patreon and get more people to do it, you're going to need to expand and you're going to need to, like, do more creative things than what they're doing now. And so they're going to need cameramen. They're going to need lighting. They're going to need sound equipment that's more sophisticated than what they have currently. Because it's just like there's...
Just even the software. They're not using IGN software anymore. Software licenses are expensive as crap to do the editing and to do all that other stuff.
You're assuming that they used all of IGN's stuff to do that before?
I'm assuming it would be silly not to when it's already there and paid for, yes.
Because, so I'm just pulling back the curtain a little bit.
Strictly speaking about the IGN stuff, I haven't followed Game Over Greggy on YouTube for a couple of years.
I'm just throwing this out there. I know that, Ben Hansen at Game Informer, he has to buy his own software for Game Informer stuff. And I'm just saying it's highly likely that they already have a lot of that stuff.
Well, I would agree that it's highly likely that they do have a lot of capable stuff. I don't disagree with that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's a scary thing, but I'm assuming that they all didn't quit their jobs on a lark.
Well, no, they obviously believe in it, and I'm not saying it can't happen, Jack, at all. I'm not. I'm just suggesting it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to be an ultimate great success.
No, and that's why it's a risk. But I'm also saying it's not as impossible as I feel you're making it out to be.
Oh, I think it's still highly improbable.
And that's where I think you're wrong.
It's the kind of
that's
risk.
Fine. There's nothing
Here's the
wrong
difference. Hey, here's the difference between the viewpoints. Jeremy and I are in different places in our lives than these guys are. And I think, Jack, you're kind of in the same kind of place in your life that these guys are. And notice how, like, I would want stability. And that would scare the crap out of me at this point in my life to take that risk and do that. Like, it would just scare the crap out of me. And I totally understand the desire to do it. I could never do that at this point in my life. I need something stable.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly helps that none of them have, families.
Right.
As far as I know.
I mean, notice, like, Brian Altano, he's one guy I would see, like, doing this same kind of thing, but I think he just recently got married. So, like, that's a difference. Like, at that point in your life, you're married now, you're supporting a family, like, you can't do that anymore. And, I mean, it's great that these guys can do it at this point, but, man, it would just scare the crap out of me.
Let me just say, if these guys weren't talented and didn't work their asses off, they wouldn't even have the opportunity to do this at this point. I'm not harshing on them at all. I'm not. I'm just saying I don't necessarily feel it would be the best move. Again, kind of like what you said, Daniel. I guess for me in that situation. I can't speak for them.
Yeah. No, but like you said, they definitely have worked their asses off to get to this point. And I mean, I'm gonna keep following them, but I'm gonna do my best not to pay for it. I don't even pay for a Giant Bomb subscription, and I love Giant Bomb's content, but I'm not gonna pay for it.
The market is just too flooded, in my opinion, in those situations. There's too much great content out there, and it literally can nickel and dime you to death if you have to pay for everything.
Yep.
And that's fine.
So if I had to make a choice between paying for that and some other things I prefer, I would choose the other things I prefer, and that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm one of Greg's 200,000 followers, so that doesn't make me irrelevant.
Right.
Go.
I'm just saying there's a not insignificant amount of people who are clearly willing to pay for support him because they like him that much.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sure. I agree. Phew.
Jeez. So how about that Zork, huh?
Yeah, really.
I mean, come on. I'm a capitalist. I want them to succeed. I honestly do, for heaven's sake. Like, who knows? Maybe they've forged much better relationships than I know. I think that's what it's going to boil down to, is the content that they can get. If they can get better content than any other YouTuber, then by God, they're going to be highly successful.
Yeah.
And I'm also the guy that thought Minecraft would never go anywhere. So there's that.
I think they will need to use advertising. They can't just do this without using any advertising. I think they really do. But I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Did they say they weren't going to use advertising?
No, they haven't said that.
Oh.
So I assume that they will. I mean,
well, they need to use advertising to advertise themselves, not advertising on their channel if they're charging. Like, they should be blanketed all over GameSpot, Game Informer, IGN, whatever, you know?
Well, because they still put stuff on YouTube,
yeah,
they'll
probably have ads.
They'll have ads on their YouTube at least.
Well, I don't mind that. Honestly, I don't.
No.
I've gotten used to it. Hell, I don't. Honestly, I don't.
No.
I've gotten used to it. Hell, I don't even mind
either. It's fine.
ads on Hulu Plus.
Yep.
I do mind ads on Hulu Plus. If I'm going to pay for a service, there shouldn't be ads.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say I don't mind them. I don't like them, but I've gotten used to them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you pay for.
Yeah, but I pay 150
pay
bucks
for
a month
cable.
for fucking cable, and that's
You
got
still get ads
every...
on that.
Although,
But sure,
originally
you
it was supposed to be ad-free. That was the idea behind cable.
Really?
Yeah, that you'd pay for TV and then it would come ad-free.
Son of a bitch.
And
But then they realized they could still make more money by putting ads on. Right.
Did you guys happen to see that somebody found the video that Ted Turner wanted to play at the end of the world?
What?
When he started,
I saw that, but I didn't click on it.
CNN in like 1980.
Oh.
He commissioned this video, and he wanted it to be the last thing that the world saw, because the only time that CNN has ever officially played the national anthem, apparently, was when they first started.
Okay.
And they will never ever officially play it again. So the last thing that Ted Turner wanted the world to see was I don't remember the name of the song, but it had all the military corps together, like the best of the military corps bands, playing something like "Now We Go to God" or some I don't even know, some song like that. It's like a 1-minute video, and supposedly when the world ends, that was supposed to air on CNN because they were the first cable news network, and the entire world would see that, and that'd be the last thing they saw.
All right.
And it's apparently still in play, even though he doesn't own the network anymore.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's giving CNN a bit too much credit, but sure.
Hey, you don't like CNN?
No, I'm just saying, is everybody in the world going to be watching CNN when the world's ending? I'm personally not going to be.
Well, of course not, but at the time it literally was the only cable news network, so...
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can see where he was coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, Fox and MSNBC didn't come around for like another 10, 12 years.
Fox didn't come around too much later because Nixon started Fox.
I'm sorry, what?
You
Not
don't know
Fox.
this?
Not the Fox News Network.
Yes?
Richard Nixon started the Fox News Network.
No, Reagan. Sorry, Reagan. My
Ro-
bad.
Daniel,
Ronald Reagan started
you've been
the
reading
Fox
way
News Network.
you've been reading way too much Huffington Post.
Ronald Reagan started the damn Fox News Network. Trust
The
me.
hell he
Look it up.
did.
Look it up.
I don't need to look it up. I know who started the Fox News Network.
With Ronald Reagan's help and funding. It's not. He wasn't. Trust me.
Well, I mean, in the same sense, I suppose that every politician has funding from somebody. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He funded it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He did. He did. But anyway, Randy Johnson, John Smoltz, Craig Biggio, and Pedro Martinez.
All excellent players and deserve to be. Did you know that Rupert Murdoch not only could not have voted in America, but he's also quoted as saying he would not have voted for Ronald Reagan,
Wow.
who is the person that actually started Fox News?
Yeah, right. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Anyway. I swear I heard that somewhere.
Well, of course you did. That doesn't make it true. Fuck. I've heard lots of things.
Just like spouting off stuff that I know is going to piss you off.
I actually don't particularly care for Fox News. I haven't watched them in well over 3 months.
All right, then.
But I don't particularly care for any mainstream news network.
Where'd Jack go?
I'm here. I'm playing Zork.
He's finally winning.
I'm at 48 points.
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
How many power points did you have, or what was your power level at the end of Dragon Age, Jack?
Oh, like 26 or something.
26?
Yeah, it was really high.
High?
Yeah.
Not your level, your like, what do they call that?
Oh, my...
When you go to the war room and you have to...
Yeah. Oh gosh, it was like
$350 or so.
Yeah, it was huge. There's nothing to spend them on.
Yeah, exactly. I was like hoarding them for like 90 hours, and I'm like, Jesus, there's literally no reason to do this.
Well, I was expecting like one of the missions to be like 100 PowerPoints or something because they were giving them away like candy, and like the very beginning ones were 30 PowerPoints or something.
The first couple were 30, so you were like, yep, I need to save these.
This will pay off at some point. Nope.
I'm with you. Bastards. Oh, good God. So what were we fighting about?
Whether or not Game Over Greggy's going to fail. He'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine, too. I honestly think that this venture won't last very long, but they'll come out of it better than they would have otherwise.
Yeah.
That's the part
they'll have a lot of fun. They'll have a lot of fun doing whatever they want.
I envy them for what they're doing. Trust me. I really do. Like, when I read that news earlier, I thought, Jesus, we probably could have done that if we would have really tried.
We probably could have done that if, we told people we did a podcast every week all the time.
If we were consistent.
I wasn't being quite as cynical as that, but yes.
If we were consistent, and if we... You know what? The thing is, we record very consistently. I think we record relatively consistently. It's just getting the episodes up consistently in a place that people will see them.
Yes. But it's also nice to know that people actually care enough to bust our balls on it every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
but also, like, if we... I mean, I'm not saying we should do this by any means. But, like, if we put our heads together and had combined all of the different things that we do on the internet. I mean, between the podcast, between videos that Jack, you will do, or some stuff that I might do, when we put it all together onto, like, a thing, we'd maybe make, like, $5 a month.
I'm sad and glad how you left me out of that, Daniel.
Well, because
I don't do anything. I know that. Come on.
Well, and that's not... Yeah, your your life goals are certainly different than that,
Well, it's not my main...
You're working on your dream, and you're getting there on... You're closer to your dream than either of us are, so...
I don't know about that. That's kind of taken a backseat the last few weeks. But either way, I understand what you're saying.
Has it? You know what I mean, though.
I do know what you mean. Like, back in the day when I was truly passionate about video games, absolutely, I would completely understand.
Yeah, right.
Although I will say I never really ever thought of video games being my livelihood, just because I don't see myself as somebody that can contribute to the industry like that.
No, I never got that impression from you.
But that doesn't mean I'm an idiot and can't have an opinion either, I suppose.
No, of course you still have an opinion. To be honest, if, like, we were famous people, if the three of us were famous and could start a Patreon and make $15,000 a month, you would be the Greg Miller of the group. No offense, Jack.
No, that's true.
I'd be using that money to feed homeless people.
You'd be the one people would come for.
But I wouldn't be there long because I'd be using that money to feed homeless people.
And that's wonderful. And that's precisely why we're not stars.
That's messed up. Anyway.
Yeah, I should probably go to bed. I have to work.
Right. Oh, God. I haven't worked for like 10 days, and I don't even know if I ever want to go back.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I've worked necessarily, but I've showed up and collected a paycheck.
I actually haven't even. Well, other than like 5 times, I haven't even went into the hospital in like 10 days.
Yeah. It's a very slow time for the bank, but that is big. That's huge. That's good.
That's huge for me. For me personally, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, had a couple people quit, a couple people walk out, and I just ignored it. I hoped it would go away. Of course it didn't, but they took care of it, so hey.
Walked out, huh?
You get what you get.
Is it just, yeah.
I'd never take that shit personally.
No.
This particular guy was like, when I interviewed him, I told him exactly what I expected, which is, I'm a terrible fucking boss. Do what I say, not as I do, because I do what the fuck I want. Type of shit.
Yeah.
But, in a professional way. But mostly just show up and be reliable and be honest, so on and so forth, right? Yeah, he was far from that.
Oh, then that works out.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this is going to sound boring, but basically what happened was he was hired to be a cook, and I tell everybody that cooks, you are also expected to wash dishes, set up the dining room, do anything that's necessary, right?
Yeah.
So the other day, like, somebody asked him, because, like, literally the cook is busy maybe 2 hours out of their 8-hour shift. Like, there's nothing else to do during the non-busy times for the cook.
Yeah.
So and we were shorthanded, so somebody asked him to go do dishes, and he literally put on his coat and walked out the door.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What a douche.
Right?
We get, so I'm in charge of, I'm the gatekeeper at work, basically, and we get, these emails from HR when somebody's leaving, like maybe they've given their notice or whatever, and I have to deactivate their badge access so they can't get in the buildings anymore and stuff. And every once in a while, I'll get an email that says immediate delete, and that always means somebody either quit or was fired and needs to be immediately removed from the system. And today, it was a very high up manager that was immediately deleted, but they never tell us why, and I'm always curious why.
They don't even tell you why?
No, they don't tell us why. They just tell us to delete them.
Oddly enough, that actually happens where I work too. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's common practice.
Yeah, but more often than not, we have to change the door code because it freezes and resets itself more than anything. Like not like freezes like computer freezes, like literally it's 40 below, so it freezes and it like loses its memory.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, the systems are old, and the systems we use are a lot older than I should admit to anybody in public. Like, it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local banks. From what I've heard of some larger banks, they use more sophisticated systems. But we're upgrading. It's in our budget to upgrade everything this year, so that'll be
The
good.
shitty part about that is how much it fucking costs to upgrade that shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's we have 26 branches, and upgrading just the access systems in 6 of the branches is costing like around $40,000.
Oh, that's it?
That's for 6 branches.
That's not bad.
And that's just the access.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that's not the alarms. That's not the cameras.
Nope, it's just the license.
Access.
Just the license.
Yep.
So when Obamacare was passed in 2010, it became mandatory for all hospitals to have electronic health records available by a certain time, right?
Okay.
We average, and this isn't a net, this is just a gross. In fact, we actually lose a couple $100,000 most years. But we average a little over $4 million intake a year. Now, when you offset our costs, like I said, it's usually around 3.5 to 4.5 million. So some years we lose money.
Yeah.
The system that we were mandated to use costs $4.5 million. and it's literally a fucking Excel spreadsheet. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
And the reason we have to have that is because everybody has to have access to electronic health records, which even with all that, they don't communicate with each other at all. Like, in the law, everybody had to have these electronic health records, but it never made it mandatory for them or even plausible for them to communicate with each other. So
Right.
every hospital bought the cheapest fucking version of this they could find,
Right.
and none of them communicate with each other, so it literally does no good whatsoever.
It's great. That's why it's such a pain in the ass to transfer medical records.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Now,
Yeah.
I think, like, the idea is good. Like, I like the idea, but the execution is just horrible.
Right.
Why can't people think of shit like that before it costs us billions of dollars? I mean, honestly. I mean, how many people that are making $2, $3, $4 million a year need to sit around in the fucking boardroom and understand the implications of the laws that are being passed, and nobody raises the question of, well, how do we make these places communicate with each other? I mean, nobody? Ever? Really?
Yeah.
And to say it's impossible is crazy. Like game servers do it all the time. It's literally matchmaking. It's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just matching up IDs with other IDs so that you can get like actual electronic health records in real time. But as it is, unless you're in the same place that you've been admitted to and already gotten your health records from, so basically you have a paper file that can be brought up slightly faster on their own computer.
So there's no
transfer to anywhere else. So
there's no like in banking we have what's called COCC.
Yeah.
It's an international
That's
database.
a great example, honestly.
Database of,
People.
bank accounts.
Yeah.
People in their accounts and money. There's nothing like that for hospitals.
Nope.
Wow.
Not at all.
Wow.
Nope. To be able to be qualified to sell electronic health records programs, the only thing that the federal government requires you to do was to be able to show a database, transfer from page to page, and refresh yourself if something bad happened, like something unexpected.
Wow.
Like, video game companies could make billions of dollars off this if they wanted to. The infrastructure and the things they do are way more highly complex than what happens in the healthcare system. Why they don't? Who knows?
It's not as fun.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
So anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. Huh. Yeah, very interesting.
I honestly was not opposed to the healthcare, the Affordable Care Act for many years. Like, I liked the concept, but once you actually see it implemented, you're like, what? This is costing me how much money, and literally nothing else has changed or gotten better. And not just for me, for even the poor people. Like, the poor people, they taunt that so many millions of people have signed up for Obamacare. That's true, but many of those are people that sign up under Medicaid, which have completely different rules. Like, it's like a fourth-tier medical treatment. It's not even the same. It's not even fair, and it's not even right.
I don't know enough about it.
Well, quit your job and put your kid on Medicaid, and you will.
Okay, I'll do that.
No, don't do that.
Even if I quit my job, I wouldn't need to. Coley's a nurse. She makes enough. See, that's the thing. I had talked to Coley about being a stay-at-home dad. I could totes do it. I would love to do it, to be a stay-at-home dad.
I think a lot of people could do it.
Just, I'd just write all the time, and that'd be it. Oh my god, that'd be life. That'd be so awful. I'd be so lazy. It wouldn't work for me.
Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you'd be inspired and become some great
Nope. Wouldn't work for me.
Well, at least acknowledge that. You know it.
Yep. Jack, how's Zork going?
I know, right? Like, did we win yet, Jack?
I found I found the thief that killed us last time. I knocked him unconscious, but I didn't kill him, and then he faked being unconscious and knocked me out and stole all my stuff.
What a jerk.
And then ran away. And then I went down some stairs and I found a gateway with a bunch of spirits blocking my way, laughing at me. And I'm pretty sure I need a magic rod that I picked up in an ancient Egyptian tomb, which the thief stole. Yep. So,
all right.
Yeah.
That game kept making me think of Uncharted.
Really?
Yep.
It made me think of Uncharted, Game of Thrones, all kinds of different things. Dark Souls a lot. All kinds of different things.
Yeah.
Times.
I can see Dark Souls.
Have you... Did you guys see what my plan is for 2015 playing games? I am not going to play any... Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to pay $60 for any game this year, if I can help it.
Liar!
I know. Well, that's the plan. That's my plan. Because one, I can't afford to. And two, basically I just can't afford to.
Well,
but,
yeah, one of my resolution was to not buy games that I never intend on playing.
What happened to me this year is having a child and all.
Wait, you had a kid this year?
Yeah, I did. I found that I ended up trading in a crap load of games, and I am basically out of games to trade in. All the games that I still have are games that I consider essential that I will not trade in and get rid of. So I have no more money to spend on games, and if I do, it's just going to be on smaller games. So I'm going to try and do a year of indies and just play indie games all year and see how that goes.
And you're saying that because No Man's Sky is coming out this year, aren't you?
Hells yes, because I could pretty much just play No Man's Sky for the rest of the year once that comes out, whenever it does come out. I feel like I will not need to play anything else after that.
Well,
game.
what if they say it's coming out in 2015? What if it's like November?
Well, then there's others. There's like, I'm very excited for Shovel Knight on PS4.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to play that.
I can dig that game.
Ethan Carter. Ugh, sorry, I got chills. Ethan Carter. I want to play. And, I mean, there's just a bunch that I want to play, and this will give me the time and money to actually play those. The one, whereas otherwise I'd spend like $60 on the order and then never be able to buy another game for months, And I don't want to be like that,
right.
So.
I'm with you. Them diapers ain't cheap.
Yeah, it's not the diapers, it's the $1,100 a month on daycare.
Yeah, holy fuck, what?
Yeah, $1,100 a month. It's gonna go
daycare?
Down. Yep, it's gonna go
for
down.
For a toddler? For an infant?
Yeah, it's gonna go down to 9. It's gonna go down to about 900, but right now it's 1,100.
Jesus, I was bitching when I paid $500 a month. Holy fuck.
Yep, 1,100. When she's in April, basically, it'll go down. No, March. It'll go down to 900.
Can't you lie about her age and say she's like 9?
I wish. Yeah. No, it's insane. So,
Jesus. Fuck the East Coast. Holy shit.
Well, no. Here, it's Connecticut. It's
we've talked about this, though, actually. This is like more of a school than just a daycare, though, right?
Yeah. They do. Although, really, honestly, They don't do anything more with her than a home daycare would. They really don't.
Good God, dude. Drop out of life and just be a stay-at-home dad and try to
See?
get clickhole hits.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. I can master the clickbait headline. Just get a whole shitload of.
Work for BuzzFeed.
She's a nurse at an AIDS clinic. She's got to make a decent living and also get good benefits. What else do you need?
See, that's the problem, though. See, the AIDS clinic is like her dream job because she's always wanted to work there, but it doesn't actually pay nearly as much. She took a $30,000 a year pay cut.
What? Oh, I guess now that I think about it, that kind of makes sense.
Because they're funded
They're
by the state.
underprivileged people, and yeah.
She took a big pay cut, but I mean, part of the allure for her was that she wouldn't have to work nights and weekends.
No, I can understand that.
So she'd be here with us. So that is important. But yeah, basically she.
For $30,000 a year, Jesus.
She almost took a pay cut that was almost my income, my annual income.
That's crazy.
Job. So, yeah. But anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. If she worked a different job and I was a stay-at-home dad, that would totally make sense. And we had talked about it, and we thought, like, does that make sense? But it doesn't. In the end, it just doesn't work out financially.
Have you considered manufacturing and selling methamphetamines?
I've considered many things. I've considered male prostitution.
That might be a viable option for you.
None of them panned out. Yep. But anyway.
I found a dam.
Wait, is there a waterfall? Look for treasure.
Dam.
No, but there's a sluice.
A what?
A sluice.
A what?
A sluice.
Tell me what the fuck a sluice is, Jack.
I don't know. Do I look like Google?
Well, you look a hell of a lot smarter than either one of us.
Don't be shucking and jiving me, Jack. Don't be shucking and jiving.
Oh, you.
You little sluice. No.
What?
No, that's a sleuth. Right? A sleuth is like a
detective?
Yeah, like a
Sherlock. So, I've been watching documentaries like no man should the last several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the last several years, honestly. But I came upon this one the other day that was from PBS, which generally their documentaries don't suck.
No.
And it was something along the lines of like how Sherlock Holmes changed the world. And it was literally like a 4-hour infomercial for the fucking BBC Sherlock series.
Oh, that's fine.
I know. The sad part is I didn't really understand that till like 3 hours and 30 minutes into it.
Have you watched
like, why the hell does smog keep showing up in this thing?
Hey.
And Andrew Lincoln was supposedly in it, but I never saw him.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Have
you watched Restrepo?
Yeah.
On Netflix?
Of course.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, of course on Netflix. Where else is it? I watched the Korengall follow-up.
Yeah, the follow-up. I haven't watched that yet.
You know, this may surprise you guys, and again, Jack, this is off the record, but I'm kind of anti-war.
Whoa!
Well, I wasn't. It's not really a pro-war
No. It's
documentary.
But if you listen to a lot of what other people say, yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, of course, because they're soldiers, but like they're indoctrinated in it. But like, you know,
I wouldn't call it indoctrinated; they're just embedded in it.
Embedded, I guess, is a better term. But it just kind of I just remember being really emotionally affected by that documentary.
No, and that's why those things really affect me. To be honest, I've been watching a ton of World War II, World War I, and Vietnam War type stuff. Like, I understand the importance and the necessity of war, but I really don't like it. Well,
No, of course not. Except, I think war is justified when evil dictators try to hack Sony
yes, let's bomb North Korea because
and threaten to kill us if we watch a movie.
But did they really do that?
What do you mean? Yeah, I thought it was.
I mean,
I thought it was confirmed that it was them.
Our entire society has made fun of North Korea because they don't even have the technology to open up a can of sardines, and then all of a sudden we suddenly believe that they can fucking hack Sony? Really?
They can hire somebody to do it.
If a bunch of 16-year-olds in Canada can hack Microsoft and Sony with DDoS attacks, I'm not going to put it past North Korea to be able to get a hold of a few computers.
Well, a DDoS attack isn't hacking.
Right.
It's
I'm just saying, like, a 16-year-old can bring down a multinational corporation's web service. I'll grant North Korea some slack in being able to take down a movie studio's network to steal a few movies.
Well, I'm not suggesting they couldn't do it. I just don't necessarily feel it's a foregone, guaranteed fact that they were doing it and all alone in doing it.
Heck, I mean, they probably could have just posted it on some website like 4chan or 8chan and been like, hey guys, you should totally hack Sony for us. I bet people would have done it.
They could have.
I agree with Jack on that. I think reality is closer to what Jack just said.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think they probably hired somebody to do it.
I don't know.
Right.
North Korea could certainly have hacked Sony, but they also could not have. Which I guess could be said about any given thing in any given situation. However,
the whole situation reminded me a lot of Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
That movie makes me laugh.
Just, I don't know. Like, anytime the White House comes out so fast to condemn any one person for any, or country for any one thing, it makes me, like, just question it. It just does.
I mean, they didn't come out super fast. They did say they wanted to confirm it first.
Yeah, it took a day
It took a good, well, no, it took more like 5 days.
Alright, then. It took 5 days.
I mean, in international diplomacy, you want to be sure before you accuse a country of cyber terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah, which usually means more than like 3 or 4 or 5 days.
I think when you need to respond, 4 or 5 days.
The United States government has been under many stressful situations in which they've needed to respond very quickly. And
That's a good point.
well, I mean, it's just reality.
Yeah.
So, how suddenly they were all of a sudden quick to, like, not only condone them, but confirm, guarantee, no matter what, that it was them without a doubt. It's just really weird. Especially when there are plenty of agencies saying otherwise.
Really? Like who? I'm just curious because I haven't seen any contrary
Let me send you some links.
reports.
No! Oh. Really took a special game to take my attention away from Caveman Pong. But Desert Golfing has done it.
Oh god, I've been recording for like 2 hours and 8 minutes. I'm sorry, Jack.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh shit, me too. Oh no. I'm gonna stop now.
All right. Well, this is the end of
Oh,
our
crap.
episode, I guess.
Right, I haven't even exported or anything.
That's fine.
Shit. Yeah, but I need to go to bed. It takes like 20 minutes to do that on this computer.
Takes 20 minutes to go to bed on your computer?
To export and upload and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, this is like the first time I've streamed without anything going wrong.
Nothing went wrong, because not on my end. I'm just kidding. No, I guess, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Very nice. How's Zork going now, Jack?
I'm reading a guidebook for this dam.
A guidebook for the dam?
Yep.
Is it a goddamn?
Like a tourist
Yeah.
guidebook?
It's a tourist attraction dam.
And to your left, you will see the water shooting out of the whatever the dam openings are called.
Are there those goats scaling it, licking the
Goats.
salt deposits?
No.
Okay, that's a Glacier Park reference. Screw you, Daniel.
No, it's a internet meme reference.
Goats lick dams everywhere?
Yeah, and I don't know. You haven't seen the picture of the goats scaling the dam on that sounds on the internet? Jack, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
You
about.
laughed.
Yeah.
You
But
laughed.
there's literally a spot in Glacier Park where you can pull over and watch the goats climb up the dam. So I guess that's what I thought you were talking
Oh,
about.
do they really? Did they do it there?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Cool. Well, these ones are in Sweden or something. I don't know.
They call it the goat lick area.
Cool.
Pretty inventive.
I saw goats while I was in Glacier. I saw a
Little
bear
goats.
too.
Well,
I
duh.
saw a bear. That was pretty awesome. I wasn't close to it. It was across the road and up on a hill, but it was cool.
What kind of-
Oh, and I saw a moose. It was I think it was a grizzly. It was a small grizzly. And I saw.
Okay. You probably
Although
you probably should have been more worried about the moose.
I was in a boat, and it was at name some glaciers. The one over by you. I was at the glacier over closer to your side.
Why you gotta make me look stupid?
West Glacier.
Oh! That's what you mean, literally named directions? I thought we did that playing Zork.
No, East Glacier. Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's not the name of the glacier, that's the name of the direction.
No, but it's called East Glacier.
Because
East Glacier.
it's east side of Glacier Park, not because it's like
Oh, all right.
glacier.
Well, I don't know. I thought that was the name of the glacier too.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, I was at East Glacier Park, and
Probably like 40 glaciers there.
well, we went on a fucking boat. All right, and out in the middle of the lake, there was a big moose on the side of the lake while we were out on the boat. It was pretty awesome.
Mooseburg, straight ahead!
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Whatever.
Moose can be dangerous. That was my point. Moose can be more
Yes.
dangerous than bear. That's all I was trying to say, Daniel.
Hey, I'm from New England. We have meese in New England.
Ooh, was that in New Hampshire? I just read about those 3 whatever dug out a moose that was trapped in an avalanche. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, either
Probably.
3 hunters, skiers, snowboarders, backtrackers,
Wow.
something.
Well, that would have been New Hampshire or Vermont or Maine, because we haven't had that kind of snow
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
it was New Hampshire.
down here. But yeah, I've seen my share of meese up in the northern states.
Those fuckers can be pretty mean.
Yeah, they can. All right, I'm exported, so I'm gonna hit the road.
Okay. I'm
Alright.
gonna do the same.
Alrighty.
That was
Good night.
fun, Jack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good night, guys.
I hope you beat Zork for all of us.